Well, hello, friends, and good day to you. You're watching Prep Sports Plus on the Southeast Iowa Union
Good
Video
day, sir.
Network. On the Video Network.
Bow.
Thursday,
Peter's
July
not
9th.
Peter's not doing the sound effect. It must be too early in the morning. I made the
We're
noise.
taping
There
this-
you go.
We're taping this so early in the morning, we should have called this Morning Breath.
Oh.
R.I.P. to that show. We're basically, I don't even want to tell them how early it is. It's like basically 4 a.m., even though it's really just 8. Jack and I are here. How you feeling, Jack?
I'm feeling pretty good. I think I have a new contender. I really need to go back. I'm coming up on my first full year with the Union, which I feel like once you get over that mark, you lose track of a lot of the good events you were at. I feel like I need to go back and make a ranking of the best games or meets or what have you that I've been to. But Andy, I might have a new number one after last night. Might have a new number one.
The breaking, the big news story, and we'll let Jack just go right into this, was what happened last night while Jack was in Packwood, Iowa. I was in Eldon, Iowa, and I heard it from all the way over there. Jack, tell me about the Keota-Pekin battle, one of the best games of the school year last night.
Yeah, so Keota and Pekin facing off in the District 14 semifinals in the Class 1A bracket. They're in Substate 7. Winner to the district championship. Spoiler alert, Moravia beat North Mahaska in the other semifinal 5-4. So that's the opponent that the winner of this game was awaiting, Pekin Keota. And I thought I was going to be watching a kind of, speed run, maybe a 1-0, 2-0 win for one of the teams in a pitcher's battle, because it looked that way through 3.5 innings. First cousins, Blake Baker of Keota and Henry Adam for Pekin, which I found out while I was in attendance. We're both absolutely dealing. I have to see if they imported both of the stats just yet. Keota has not, but Henry had 6 strikeouts in 5 innings for Pekin. Baker, I can tally it maybe while you're talking later, Andy, and get back to you. But he had a bunch. He pitched until the 7th. That's the way the game was kind of going. Pekin committed, the first error of the game. It was a fielding error Keota committed it, that allowed Pekin to score. It was a attempted steal of third, throw over from home was over the head. Guy runs home. They go up 1-0. And then Keota has a really big 4th inning. I forgot to pull up my notes off the bat, so let me stall for a second. Top of the 5th inning, a couple of errors by Pekin. They get a couple of base runners on. They start to hit off of Adam. They go up 3-1, and then ended up taking a 4-1 lead in the 6th after they were kind of guided through the bottom of the 5th by Mr. Blake Baker. So 4-1, and Pekin is kind of struggling for answers. They only finished with 4 hits in this game, which is important because we get to the bottom of the 7th. It's 4-1. Pekin knows the score. They've got to get at least 3 to try and extend it to extras. Otherwise, Keota will have come into their place and knocked them out of the playoffs behind a really good performance by Blake Baker. Pekin, bottom of the 7th, start with a strikeout and a ground out. They fall behind 2 outs with their first 2 batters. They get a single. Riley Smith toward the bottom of the order. The 9-hitter gets his only hit of the game, gets a single, gets on base. Blake Baker hits the pitch limit for Keota, has to come out of the game in relief because he was around that 90 pitch mark, and if he goes over that, he would not have been able to play against Moravia if the Eagles come in. So they swap pitchers. Nolan Glick walks. There's one more single. Then Nolan Glick walks, loads the bases, up steps Fairfield transfer Zandrick Allison as the number 2 hitter. He gets hit by a pitch, walks in a run to make it 4-2, and up steps Henry Adam, who had already had 2 hits in this game. The bases are suddenly loaded. It's a 2-run game. Henry Adam blasts a home run, grand slam, walk-off in the bottom of the 7th to win the game 6-4 for Pekin and keep their season alive. Wild moment, and honestly, like an out of nowhere moment. I mean, like I said, they finished with 4 hits. They got 3 of them in that bottom of the 7th inning, and Adam was responsible for 3 of them. So it was nuts. Just a an out of nowhere kind of win for Pekin. Felt very bad. I mean, Kyoto played like a heck of a game. Should not take anything away from them. Like Blake, who is just a sophomore for them, is going to be an awesome pitcher for years down the road. But yeah, Kyoto to dig deep and do this. I mean, that's a team that has, I believe, 5 or 6 seniors on it who have been kind of the face of their, boys athletic programs for the last several years. Get to keep their final sport season going for at least one more game. So it was pretty electric. Everyone went pretty crazy. Could not believe it. So wild walk-off win. And sorry, I misspoke. There was just the 1 base hit by Smith, and then it was a couple walks. So there were only 4 hits. Henry Adam had 3 of them. He got a couple earlier in the game, and then the grand slam.
Yeah, it was a no doubt a grand slam. Oh my gosh! If you I watched the replay on the Atomo Radio stream, and you can tell like who would the on deck batter have been. But right when it left the bat, you just saw people celebrating as the ball was flying into the outfield. And word reached Eldon, where I was, very quickly that had happened. So, I mean, that's just, it's more like Henry Adam, more like Henry Adam.
Yeah.
Because he just has a knack for that kind of stuff, for those moments. So much to where it's like, man, next time he gets up into that position, it might just be like, you know what, just walk this guy.
There was actually
run.
I'll just say it. There was chatter about that. It was amongst the Pekin supporters, of course, because they know how good of a hitter Henry is. But yeah, I mean, would have been very bold to walk in a run to make it just a 1-run game. But yeah, I mean, he was really their only hot hitter in the game, and that's a credit to Blake Baker, who was just sitting guys down all game. So very big bummer for Kyoto. Their season does come to an end. They finished 11-8. Had a really strong season. I believe their coach Andy only in his first year.
Yeah, he's Austin's very young.
Austin Waterhouse, yeah.
Austin Waterhouse. He's just he's very young. He's just in high school not too long ago. By the way, according to the Pekin stats, they struck out 11 times. So I don't know if when Brennan McGuire came to relieve, I don't know if he got any, but if he didn't, then Baker's at 11.
It was 11, yes. Yep.
According to the Pekin stats, they will play, by the way, the Panthers will play Moravia, who had a very close win over North Mahaska. As you said, Moravia's only lost 4. That's at Moravia. If anybody can find it, as they say, little tiny.
Is that the
tiny
joke
town.
of Moravia?
Moravia. Same with if it was at Pekin, but that was one of my favorite quotes when Regina girls basketball played at Van Buren County, and their coach, Van Buren County's coach, said, "Yeah, it's going to be a heck of a game. Well, as long as they can find it." But yeah, if you can find it, Moravia, down south, and I was actually going to go see who pitched last night for Moravia, because looks like Mikhail Mora Jr. is the pitcher for Moravia that pitched enough to not be able to go. So I think that means Moravia has their ace on that one. But
yeah, I did speak, of course, with Henry Adam after the game, who was just elated and probably relieved as well, just to get a win for his team. But he did mention Moravia, 2 very good pitchers was his assessment. So see if he can hit off.
Yeah, so I guess Kale Moore is their number 1, but they have Carson Seals, I think, will be who ends up pitching for them, and then we'll see who Pekin goes. Might be Nolan Glick Day. But that's on Saturday, the 11th, and that's in Sub-State 7. And then on the other end, Martinsdale St. Mary's will play against East Union. Now, East Union upset had a little upset victory going in. So Martinsdale St. Mary's the top seed in that will have a big advantage in the semi. So, and if Pekin can win, the next Tuesday, July 14th, it's time to play for state. I was at one of the many bad results for our area baseball teams last night. The Cardinal Comets, the hottest team coming in probably from the Union, played against Albia. They had lost to Albia once this year. South Central Conference rival, it's a team that they knew pretty well. No, they hadn't lost to Albia this year. They went 2-0. Oh, they lost to Albia last year in a tough game. But they got a lot going for them. They got Matthew Blommy and on the mound. Albia came in not the most crazy offensive team in the world. They had just beaten West Burlington 5-4 to get there. Albia scores 6 runs in the first inning and beats Cardinal 11-5. A lot of walks in the first inning, and according to everyone, and I even heard the Albia radio station say this, it was just kind of a tight zone, and Albia was taking pitches, and Balmy just couldn't find the zone. He just had these long at bats that would turn into walks, and slowly Albia grinds out 6 runs in the first inning. They actually led 10-1 after 2 innings. Cardinal did start to scrap back a little bit. Bodie Farrell had 3 RBIs in this, and Caden Courtney had a bomb of a 2-run homer. And actually, you called me to talk about your game. I picked it up. I said, "Hello, Jack." You said hello. And then Courtney just launched one.
I heard
no
cheering.
doubter to right center. What was that?
I heard cheering when I called, and I was like, "Oh,
yeah." I was like, "Oh, that was just a huge homer." So that actually made it 11-5, and that was in the bottom of the 5th. And so you kind of thought, with the way Cardinals offense can score, you thought, well, down 6, maybe they get a couple in the 6th, maybe they get a couple in the 7th. And Albia pitching was just really good. Albia pitching and defense was really good. They started their senior Jackson Strickler, who had a good start. He went 4 1/3, and then they brought in the reliever, and I thought, well, maybe Cardinal can get the runs off of this guy, and it just was a little bit of an off night for the Comets, who only came into that with 5 losses. They were 18-5, but they were upset. They were upset by the Blue Demons, and tough early loss in the tournament for the Comets, who will be one of the more talented teams coming back next year. They have a lot of talent, just a couple of seniors. So, but tough one, really tough one for the Comets.
that is a tough one." I was bummed to see that. You were texting me as Albia took that big lead and just became a little bit insurmountable. Couple of other seasons ending. Winfield Mount Union fell to Regina Catholic. The Regina Catholic quadrant, which featured Winfield and Mid Prairie. The Golden Hawks, which I was there. They beat Monticello on Tuesday, 11-1. Went to play Mediapolis in the next round, and unfortunately, 2 runs for Mediapolis in the 4th inning was all the difference. Mid Prairie falls 2-0, so their season and Winfield's season also came to an end last night. Winfield had to play Regina. Regina, one of the best teams in the state, so not an easy one for the Wolves of Winfield. Elsewhere, I think we talked about last show Van Buren County and New London. If my memory serves, they beat New London. Was that after? Was that Thursday? That might have been after.
No, your memory doesn't quite serve. It was after.
It was after.
But Van Buren and New London were so on whatever day that was, because they all run together. That was one of the games that got delayed by rain, and then in and out. I think that was Friday. There we go, Friday. Van Buren knocked off New London in one of the better games. And then while that was going on, I was actually at Kyoto knocking off Hillcrest Academy. Hillcrest Academy was our longest running team last year, baseball and softball combined. And Aiden Galindo with a huge RBI double in the sixth as Kyoto, not as dramatic fashion, but in dramatic fashion, does to Hillcrest what Pekin would eventually do to them, which is win it in the last few innings.
Yeah, that was a dramatic one. New London Van Buren was a dramatic one, 3-2, but then Van Buren lost to another one of the best teams in the state, Sigourney. And then Highland, which beat Wapello in the opening round, lost to Burlington Notre Dame in the district semifinals. So a couple more teams out, and I believe we are now just down to the Pekin Panthers among the 1A and 2A teams, and then our 3A schools, which get started on Friday. Washington will play at Clear Creek Amana. They just played in a regular season game on a Tuesday night. Clear Creek won that 9-4. And then Fairfield and MP in the same district. Fairfield Williamsburg, a rematch from the regular season that the Trojans won, and old MP Burlington. We've been at some of those games and see how they've gone. So that gets started Friday.
MP and Burlington were both. I thought they played last night. I've been looking for the final score on that, but that was another one where two of our teams, Washington and Mount Pleasant, both played the team on Tuesday that they were supposed to play on in the first round of the tournament. And by the way, that would be Assumption and Makokata as the other game in the Burlington Mount Pleasant part of that bracket. So Burlington 3, Mount Pleasant 6, Ottumwa 2, Makokata 7. And then Solon plays Keokuk and the other. So obviously Solon's a huge favorite in that, and the other side of the Williamsburg Fairfield bracket. So Solon, I believe, was ranked number 3 last time I checked. Very similar bracket on that side for what usually happens in 3A, where someone like Solon or Waller Catholic is the number 1 seed. And speaking of Waller, that's who the number 1 seed is in Washington's bracket in Sub-State 3. The Demons are the 7 seed at Clear Creek Amana. Benton and Vinton Shellsburg. Benton and Vinton going at it.
Benton.
If Washington can win that. And then Waller Catholic, the favorite up north in the bracket for Sub-State 3. And that might be all the baseball we had. Washington did play last night.
They did. They played Clear Creek Amana in a playoff preview. Lost 9-4.
Sorry, that's not what I meant. What I meant was Fairfield played last night. Fairfield played last night, beat Mount Vernon 14-10.
There you go. Washington
Wild.
also lost 9-4 to Pella on Monday.
I should mention, by the way, that the Southeast Conference baseball race was decided last week. A tough one for Fairfield. They lost 12-2 at Burlington. Just everything went wrong for the Trojans. That would have been Fairfield beat Washington, put 20 runs on them on Wednesday to knock Washington and Mount Pleasant out mathematically, and then went into Burlington. It looked like everything was all peachy, and it was not. Just a few errors. They got a huge Burlington got a huge break when Fairfield pitcher Dane Burkhart he got thrown out for kind of a little controversial tag play in the second inning. Got ejected from the game, so then Fairfield didn't have their ace. There's already 7-0 Burlington when that happened. So shout out to the Greyhounds. They got their championship. And then Burlington played Mount Pleasant on Tuesday. They say, but I haven't seen their result on that. And if Mount Pleasant were to have shocked them, it would have been 2 years in a row, because last year Fairfield actually won the conference championship on a Mount Pleasant beating Burlington situation. So would have been the 3rd straight for the Trojan baseball team. Maybe they're just saving it for the tournament.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I will not doubt the games I've watched at Fairfield this year with their late inning wins. I will not doubt them in any game with the way their bats can figure stuff out and the way Dane can pitch, especially when he's on his A game.
I gotta say, the so first off, Fairfield having Dane Burkhart and Voss Richardson, that sets up well for the tournament. And also maybe they had their bad night. Maybe that was the bad night, and now they're just gonna absolutely snap right into it when the tournament starts. So hopefully that's what's gonna happen.
We shall see. We shall see.
We shall see, and you guys watching the show shall see some softball coverage when you get back. We're gonna talk about softball. Stick with us.
At WCHC, our goal is to take great care of our patients and our staff.
We are able to approach you, take care of your issues, but also give you a path, as far as referrals or treating you right then and there.
Our role in the community is taking care of something that matters to everyone. It's their family and their health.
More than you expect for your healthcare.
Check out Community Profiles every Thursday, where our host, Greta Clemens, talks with people from around Washington about their stories and highlighting upcoming events. Make sure to tune in to Community Profiles every Thursday at 10 on the Southeast Iowa Live Facebook and YouTube page.
Welcome back, friends and family, watchers, listeners. Prep Sports Plus on the Southeast Iowa Video Network, powered by all the advertisers you see rolling across your screen right now. Visit them. They love on you, so love on them, as we say here. Stole that from the youth pastor at my church. We are going to talk a little softball, Jack. And before we get into tournament play, which has just started as we tape this, because we got a lot of first round stuff tonight. We'll peek behind the curtain. We tape this on Wednesday when the show airs on Thursday. But Jack, before we get into that, we had a conference champion crowned in the metropolis of Keota, Iowa. Tell me all about it right now.
Yeah, one of said teams who will be in action on Wednesday against Twin Cedars in the playoffs won the Sickle Conference title for the first time, Andy, in 36 years, and that was the Keota Eagles. They beat English Valleys 5-4 their last week, which secured them a 13-3 record in the conference, and they will share the title. Three-way tie at the top of the Sickle. They finished tied with BGM and North Mahaska. All three of those teams beat each other and lost to each other, and then took one other defeat in the league. And so they end up all finished tied, but they all count. So a title for the Eagles. Very exciting one. Their players were very excited. I mean, this is a group that I have the stat. From 2022 to 2023, they were 0-29 in conference play. They went 2-14 in 2024, won 9 games in conference last year, and then this year get to break through, win 13, and win the title. So a lot of the seniors, there are 4 of them on the team, have stuck it out, and sorry, I got distracted by Andy's happenings on the podcast, which was wonderful. A lot of those seniors have stuck it out even since they were 8th graders through some really low points, and have kind of helped build this program up. They obviously have a ton of good freshmen, younger players as well. Their star pitcher Jesslyn Aller's just a freshman, and this was a classic Keota win this year. They have been the comeback kids. They fell down 4-0, end up scoring 5 unanswered on 8 hits. Addison Perkypile, one of those seniors, was 2 for 3. 2 for 4 with a double was Elise Lyle, and Aller, who I mentioned, pitched the whole way and was 1 for 4 with an RBI that scored the first run. So, yeah, that's been kind of their DNA. They get down, sometimes get down big, and they're able to kind of dig their way back out and get these wins. And so they've stacked them up. Will be exciting to see how far they can go in the playoffs, but just a great achievement for those seniors to get a co-conference title, their first one in 36 years. Now they play a Twin Cedars team, which, interestingly, Andy, maybe the funniest matchup with records I've seen. Keota is 16-3 on the year. Twin Cedars is 16-14. They have played just a ton more games than Keota has, which is kind of funny. I actually at Keota Baseball last night was talking to their coach, Sean Hafley, and he was kind of speculating that they just play a lot of out-of-conference games and try to get as many in as they can, which is interesting because they don't have they don't have a lot of players on their roster, Twin Cedars. So that'll be an interesting test. They got to the state qualifier game 2 seasons ago in 2024. So it's a storied program was how I was described of Twin Cedars. So we'll see what Keota can do, but conference title.
That's right, down in the metropolis of Bussy. And by the way, Twin Cedars also scored 19 in their last game to get into this. So, which that says that's in Keota, right?
It is at Keota.
It had Keota on the left side on the bound. It tripped me up for a second. Sometimes the bracket does that. We have Keota playing. We have I will be I believe at the Pekin Holy Trinity game on a Wednesday night in beautiful West Point. I believe we haven't really we haven't locked that in yet, so I don't want to lie to you guys. But Jack and I are going to be seeing a lot of softball.
I'll be at Highland. They will try to go back to state. They begin their playoff run tonight. They play Belle Plaine after getting a bye at home. Hillcrest Academy is going to be all the way in Don Bosco, so if they can pull an upset there, you could get the potential of a Highland Hillcrest game. So good amount of teams still left, and then the 3As start up on Thursday.
That's right. We'll be in 3A softball on Thursday. We'll be at 3A baseball on Friday. We're busy, Jack.
We are indeed. Van Buren was the other one I meant to mention in 2A. They play West Branch at home. That's also
that's another place I might be. I haven't locked in my where I'm going tonight. I think, man, so tough to choose. But I'll tell you where I was, because I was on hand for New London, Winfield Mount Union, who played Danville in kind of a crazy one on Monday night. Unfortunate for New London WMU, lost 9-6. They scored 3 runs in the first inning, and in fact batted through the lineup in the first inning. Looked all good there, and all of a sudden, third inning comes around. New London enjoys that 3-0 lead. 7 runs for the Danville Bears to take a 7-3 lead. New London did score 6 in the next half inning, so it was 7-6 for a long time. And then a 2-run homer into the cars from sophomore catcher Elizabeth Jensen for Danville makes it 9-6. And New London New London had base runners. They just could not push any more across. And a really tough loss for New London, who kind of like Cardinal, maybe I'm just the jinx this postseason, was playing very, very well. I mean, New London came in on a 3-game winning streak. They'd scored a lot of runs. They end the year with a 500 record, which is really cool. I think that's the first time since 2018. So a lot of potential for New London WME. New London used to, back in the days of head coach Emily Parks, they used to be the dominant force in Southeast Iowa, and they took their lumps the last few years, but that was definitely a promising result. Also, Waco falling to Pekin to 0, which is why Pekin is in West Point, Iowa today. Not West Point. Don't show up at the campus of the University of Army. You will not see. You'll see Abram Edwards, who plays for them, who played for Winfield Mount Union, but you won't see any softball there. It's West Point, Iowa, on Wednesday night. So, I hope that we can get somebody on the girls' side. By the way, not only Mount Pleasant, Washington, and Fairfield for 3A, but speaking of Fairfield actually plays Mid Prairie.
Yeah, your eyes want to be on 3A Region 8.
Yeah, that 3A Region 8 is going to be fun. Washington goes to Davis County. The Fairfield Mid Prairie game, even the 1 versus 8 game, is West Liberty versus Central Lee, a really strong team. That is the group of death, as they say. Shout out soccer. Shout out the C block that we're going to do here in a bit. The group of death in 3A. And I'm excited.
Yeah, Washington did have the streak snapped. They got to 10 games in a row, lost on a walk-off to Louisa Muscatine. We're up 7-4, and L&M gets 4 runs in the 7th inning and is able to sneak away with a win over Washington at home. But that seem to still bode well for the Demons. I mean, that's a really good L&M team. And then they beat Fort Madison pretty handily in their last game of the regular season. So they have won 11 out of their last 12 games heading into this Davis County game. And yeah, Fairfield, obviously a really intriguing season from them. Mid Prairie, no slouch of a team either, playing a really good River Valley South. They've, regardless of what happens, they've grown a lot from last year to this year too.
Yeah, I'm excited for that Mid Prairie Fairfield showdown. By the way, Fairfield, I mentioned that Fairfield baseball was unable to grab that conference championship. Fairfield softball the same. They lost 3-0 to Burlington with that on the line, and I do have a full result for Burlington's game against Mount Pleasant. It was a Kylie Hill no-hitter. Burlington 8-0 over Mount Pleasant. But since then, Fairfield played Albia really close, 5-2. That was the last undefeated team, no longer undefeated because of the happenings at the Washington tournament, but the last undefeated team in Iowa softball. Lost 5-2, and Albia turned a triple play in that game.
Ooh.
And then they lost to Ottumwa 2. They went and beat Knoxville 8-0, and then they beat Keokuk 15-4. And that 15-4 win over the Chiefs, 2 home runs, another one by Leah Helmick, another one by Ireland Cranston. So maybe that's a good sign for the Trojans coming into it. But that bracket will be awesome. And then Mount Pleasant plays at Oskaloosa, which is technically a rematch from it's not technically a rematch. It's a rematch from the opener in the year where Oskaloosa went way up. And I saw the early stages of Mount Pleasant's offense come together and scrap back into that one to lose, I believe, by 4 runs. So, and the winner of that gets the thrill of going to play at Cedar Rapids Xavier. So hopefully we'll get some wins on Thursday night. Hopefully.
We'll see how it goes.
Hopefully. We'll see how it goes. And you guys will see how the C block goes because you're going to stick around. We're going to talk about the World Cup. So don't leave.
I love helping people. I always wanted to help people. That's what I love the most.
We do a really good job of growing our own, but also we are able to take your skills, adapt them to what we need, or grow them as well.
Our leadership group here, they are actively involved, always supportive of our new ideas and innovation here at the hospital.
Washington County Hospital and Clinics. Apply today.
Welcome back, Prep Sports Plus. We're gonna talk a little. We're gonna shift into International Sports Plus. Jack,
International Sports Plus. Yeah, he just you can't hear it, which makes it even funnier. But it's just he clicks it, but he turns it down right away. So instead of it's more like meow, meow, meow. He just did it again.
Hey, you know what that sound was to me? That sound was the United States men's national team on Monday night against.
No, that's
Belgium.
more like
Meow. Wah, wah, wah. Hey, we'll do, this segment is called do a sound effect that correctly describes the United States men's national team's round of 16 against Belgium. So we'll just popcorn. We'll just free for all. How about oh?
Can I just say fart noise?
Yeah, you can.
That's how I describe it.
Peter, you got any? You got any on that soundboard?
He did it. You did do a couple.
I'll play it again.
Oh, do it again.
Andy, it's
That's a good one.
it's the trombone. Womp 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 womp.
Wah,
Let me play you a
wah, wah.
sad song. The world's smallest violin.
How about boo? That's a good one.
I was saying Boo Earns.
Yeah, they're saying boo earns.
Are you saying Boo or Boo Earns?
Classic. USA lost. Spoiler for anyone who's taping the game. Got crushed. Jack and I both watched it from our sporting event that we were at. Had it on the phone. I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing because I eventually was just like, no. After the 3-1 goal, I was like, no.
My
I got a softball game to watch.
shout out to Brooks Weber, who gave me a very great interview after Mid Prairie's win over Monticello. But as I was walking over to chat with him, I saw the score change from 2 to 3 to 1, and I said, I am no longer excited to get back in my car and watch the end of this.
Yeah, I mean, at least you got to see it that way instead of how everyone else saw, which was actually watch the. I'm sure you watched it afterwards, but one of the more humiliating things to ever happen to this country in its history, I believe, that third goal, right?
Yeah, pretty bad. I mean, I don't know. My least favorite one, honestly, was the second one where they tie it so quickly and so emphatically,
yeah.
and then just immediately, essentially, the best way to just describe it is like literally getting dunked on, where you just have a guy out jump your center back and head it in for a goal. Like, you're in the right spot to just nod that away, and you just got beat. That one almost makes me more, literally. That one in the context almost makes me more mad. But yes, the third goal was just a backbreaker.
It's tough. Revisiting our picks, I had the team. Jeremy, they're out. Argentina. Do you think that Argentina Egypt was the best game of the tournament? Right.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
outdid the Mexico England game,
which outdid the Argentina Cape Verde game, which now I feel like is going to get lost in the annals of this tournament because it was the round before. But it's just been so crazy. All of these games, like especially if Argentina's involved, it seems to be a bit of a thriller. Which the ironic part of that is they're going to play Switzerland, which can make games very boring. So.
Yeah, well, that's who I'm cheering for right now. I just want Switzerland to win. That would be funny because I was gonna say now maybe this is my Love of America showing, but is this gonna be the best World Cup of our lifetimes?
It's right up there for sure. Definitely, I would definitely give it a very high grade. When you look at just the pure on-field results, and especially with the knockout, like how wild these games have been. Just right up there.
I like to think, and by the way, I'm gonna when you start talking next, I have to run to get my charger because somehow my computer just went from 24 to 13 while we've been talking about. But I like to think that 2010 was like the peak of World Cup, but I really think that was just because of Shakira and the Africa song. Shakira.
It is iconic.
But I mean, it's been off the friggin' charts. I mean, we got today is July. You're watching this on July 9th, quarterfinal start. France and Morocco, the favorites, and everybody kind of loves Morocco because they're not really the Cinderella anymore. But Spain and Belgium, who do we even cheer for in that? Belgium's really been dunking on the United States.
Yeah. I mean, I picked Spain to win the tournament, so I guess to make myself look right.
What's Belgium's mascot?
The Red Devils.
Red Devils.
Oh, I was gonna guess the waffles.
No, the chocolate.
Waffles.
The
Belgian chocolate.
The
Belgian
they really got everything
chocolates.
going for
It's
them.
like a famous Belgian celebrity. There's the Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme's from
The
Belgium.
Isn't he?
Belgium Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I'm gonna look that
That's
up.
like
Just
wrong.
make sure I'm not right.
Well, you look that up. I'm gonna sprint over and get my charger. By the way, the other
Jean-Claude Van Damme is a
quarterfinals-
Belgian actor and martial arts.
Belgian. Actually, you know what? Peter and Jack ranked the 4 games. So we got France, Morocco, Spain, Belgium, Norway, England, and Argentina, Switzerland. Rank those 4 on how excited you're. Wait, I'm actually gonna say where they're at too, because I think that sometimes affects it. France and Morocco at Foxborough. Spain and Belgium
the Boston Stadium. Thank you.
Boston Stadium.
FIFA
Oh,
changes
that's
all the
right.
Because you can't
Yeah,
use the.
Wikipedia. Whoa, somebody sue Wikipedia for saying Foxborough. Norway, England at Miami, and Argentina at Switzerland, and Kansas City. Definitely not Arrowhead Stadium.
Nope.
The Kansas City
Kansas
Chiefs.
City Stadium.
So you guys rank those 4.
Where's Spain, Belgium?
Well, some people would say, oh, never mind, Inglewood.
Inglewood,
In,
the Inglewood Stadium.
in
Of course.
California, the LA.
Go ahead, Peter.
What if they did it like the NCAA tournament where it's like Midwest, South, North,
Regional,
East? Yeah.
Even though none of them are from here.
No. Just if you put Europe on top of North America, so it's like, Netherlands, Norway, that's north.
Mm-hmm. Netherlands,
And then
Norway.
Italy, Switzerland, that would be south. Midwest would be like Germany. Anyway, I'm cheering for the because that's who I picked for to win. So that's gonna be my number one. Belgium, Spain's 2. Switzerland. I think I messed up the matchups.
No, you got it.
I think Switzerland. It's Switzerland,
Argentina.
I want to put that 3, and then I forgot the last one.
England, Norway.
Yeah, that's going to be 4. Even though that may have the best player in the tournament in it with Norway. Holland.
I agree with you. I think France, Morocco's 1. I'm going to put England, Norway 2 because of their matchup against Holland.
Yeah, that's not ridiculous.
Well, it's just a lot of guys who have played against Holland a lot because it's a bunch of Premier League guys, and that is where Holland plays.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm excited for that. And if Norway wins that would be quite the story.
And Holland is funny.
He is funny. He's also from England.
Very goofy guy.
He was born in England.
Oh.
His dad played for a club in England where he was born. But
did he just grow up in Norway, or does he have a family member from Norway?
No, he grew up in England. But he's from his dad is Norwegian.
Yeah.
But he was playing in England.
Okay.
Argentina, Switzerland.
Are you talking about Holland?
Holland, yeah.
Holland?
Mm-hmm.
Holland?
I'm going Argentina, Switzerland 3, and Belgium, Spain 4. I don't know what to think about that game. That game has like the lowest floor, highest ceiling for me. Like I think if Belgium steps up, it's going to be crazy, but I could also see Spain just kind of wiping them away. So we'll see.
I didn't even hear your guys', so this is going to be completely pure by me. As my dog immediately tried to trip over and unplug my computer. Sorry, Bailey, for watching this for moving. I know you told me no moving during the show. Norway, England is my number one with a bullet. And then I'd probably have France, Morocco, Argentina, Switzerland, and then Spain, Belgium. Spain, America would have been a great game. That would have been my number 1.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah. I dread to think what Yamin Lamal would have done to us.
Can we just really talk? Because there's discussions online again about the state of U.S. men's soccer. Jack, as Mr. U.S. men's soccer, I mean, was that not just like climbing the mountain for a while? It looks like you're doing well, and then somebody just nukes the bottom of the mountain. It just seems like all happiness that we were feeling as a country were stolen away from us in one fell swoop.
I don't know. I think we're still moving in a pretty good direction. We're one of the 20 best teams in the world pretty consistently. I think, yeah, the way the loss happened, where you just ran into this wall and seemed to forget like super basic fundamental stuff, exposed some flaws within the team. But I still think there's a lot of really good core players that you're building around. I think the big thing will be if Pochettino wants to stay long term, or if he wants to get back to like club management. But like that's kind of the biggest question for me. But I think we're still moving in a fine direction. It's just, yeah, you can't. There still almost needs to be like an identification of playing style and identity with the team. It just doesn't, like, we don't have like a distinct way we play still, it seems. So we'll see. I'm overall like still pretty positive on the direction of the team.
This is just like that episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob becomes really rich and has all those friends and has all that money and everybody likes him. And then he runs out of money, aka USA loses to Belgium, and everyone just kind of walks away.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame people for doing it. I wish like they had lost to penalties to Belgium, because it made it look like we were just significantly a class below. And I don't necessarily think that's true, but yeah, our major flaws got exposed in the worst possible way. Everything we were worried about in the tournament that it seemed like we were overcoming sort of got shoved back right in our face, which is not fun, but I don't know. I hope they can keep the faith and try and keep it moving up.
Hey, you know what?
We're in a lot better of a spot than we were 12 years ago, is what I'll say.
Yeah, which one was 12 years ago? That was when
2018.
Were we even in the tournament at that point?
That was when we missed. We lost to
Trinidad
and Tobago and did not qualify.
That was awful. So I've been a notorious hater when it comes to the men's national team, but mostly because everyone always hypes them up. This year, I think I mentioned at the beginning, like I didn't feel like everyone hyped them up as one of the best teams this year. So I think I was more of a fan, but it rubbed me the wrong way in 2000 and was that 10? When did Landon Donovan score that goal against like Algeria or
2010.
something?
That was
It
2010.
bothered me that they won ESPY's Team of the Year for getting knocked out in the round of 16 by Ghana. And I remember being like, I cannot believe that we've set the bar so friggin' low. Every other national team, like if the baseball, if hockey, men's or women's, if women's soccer, either of the basketball teams gets knocked out in the round of 16, they literally get like shot out of a cannon into the Atlantic Ocean. And we were throwing a parade for the men's national team for doing it.
I think you have to look at it sort of, to put an American analogy, like college football. It is very hard to break into that next rung of teams. You know, there's a lot that kind of jump in and out of the pool of that sort of tier 2.5. It's really hard to get up into that tier 1.
What you're saying is
a long time.
the U.S. men's national team should hire Kurt Signetti
to
be coach.
Our Kurt Signetti might be Mauricio Pochettino, a guy who can outsmart everyone and put
Yeah,
the
but
right
he hasn't won a
in.
college football national title, has he?
Correct, but neither
has. He has not.
Yes,
that's true. Wait, where did they? Oh, they lost in Seattle. I really wish they lost in like the Georgia Dome or something, so we can say, so we can start throwing out more college football coaches. But I have trivia for you guys. I have a trivia question for you guys, and let me set it up. Because the men's team's out, right? They're done. They're done. When do we get another chance at winning the World Cup, Jack? This isn't the trivia.
2030 is the next one.
2030. That's a long time away. Now tell me, what is more recent to us, 2030 or 2027?
That would be 2027.
Yeah.
Correct. You guys are doing good at this. That means that it is not too early to start thinking ahead to the Women's World Cup in 2027, which is what I started doing, being like, whatever, let me at least, by the way, not to now rip on the women's team, but for as bad as the United States team was at Belgium, they made it just as far as the women's team did in the last World Cup. Sorry, Alex Morgan, Megan Rapinoe, Carly Lloyd, but happened. I have a trivia question for you because I was looking at the field and I was trying to get my bearings about the women's tournament next year. Obviously, the United States is pretty good. I'm going to read off the FIFA women's ranking of teams right now. Okay. I should have probably looked this up before I said that instead of Googling it, but here we go. So I'm going to read them off in rapid fire. I'm going to read off the top 10, and I want you guys to go back and forth trying to figure out who the number 11 team is. Ready? And then I'll give you a hint if you guys go a couple without. All right, I'm just going to rattle them off. 1 through 10 in women's soccer right now. Spain, USA, Germany, England, Japan, France, Brazil, Sweden, Canada, the Netherlands. Jack, who do you think's number 11?
England.
Wrong. England was in the original thing off. That's why I said it. That's why I said it quickly though.
Oh,
Peter.
I totally missed England.
Did you say France?
Yes.
Belgium.
Why are you helping him, Jack? No, Belgium is wrong.
Is the China women's team
South Korea.
South Korea is wrong. Peter.
China
is wrong, Jack.
Italy.
Italy is wrong, Peter. And if you don't get this in Peter, I'll give you guys a hint.
Australia is
wrong. Now here's the hint. This team is the best under 18. Actually, this is the best under 20 women's soccer team in the world. They've done better than everybody else in the most recent U17 and U20 tournaments. They're the best in the world under 20 and under 17.
I don't follow you.
Norway.
International hockey.
Norway is wrong, Peter.
Chile.
Chile is wrong, Jack.
Colombia.
Colombia is wrong, Peter.
Mexico
is wrong, Jack.
I give up.
Can we get a continent?
This team, Asia.
Asia.
Oh, Russia.
This team is the back-to-back Asia U17 champions and the reigning U20 champion in
It's
Asia.
not Japan. It's
Russia,
Mongolia.
wrong.
Mongolia.
Mongolia. It's not
Wrong.
It's not.
This team also has the best under 17 player in the world,
Sri
according
Lanka.
to just like straight up how they did.
And
Wrong.
It's not China, South Korea, or Japan.
I wonder if it's like the stans, Kazakhstan,
Wrong. Just everyone just throw out as many. This is like a lightning
Kyrgyzstan,
round. You
India.
guys-
Uzbekistan,
Wrong.
Pakistan, Iran, Iraq,
Wrong.
Saudi Arabia.
Jordan,
Wrong.
Oh my gosh.
Oman, Yemen.
Wrong.
Nepal. I don't think
Wrong.
that's a country, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Vietnam,
Wrong.
Indonesia,
Wrong.
Thailand.
Wrong.
Philippines.
Wrong.
New Zealand.
Wrong.
They're in Oceania, not. Wow, I have no idea.
You guys can give up if you move the three
Pakistan?
on.
Did we say Pakistan?
I'll give you a
Turkmenistan?
hint. I'll give you a hint. If you guys want to give up on this, you can give up together, but you got to do it together. Like when you shoot off a nuclear weapon, you both have to push
We
the
gotta
button
turn
at
the
the same
key.
time.
That's fine.
Is it North Korea?
Both turn the keys. It is North Korea.
Wow.
North Korea is the power in youth
Of youth
women's soccer.
Wow.
I mean, youth as in like under 17. They've won the last two U17 Asia Cups. They've won the World Cup U17, the World Cup U20. They've had the top scorer, the star. They are the growing power in women's soccer. I did not know this, and it was stunning to me when I started reading about it.
It's a great
that,
fact.
North Korea, great fact. They're number 11 in the FIFA rankings. The FIFA rankings. And they've already qualified for the World Cup. And I might just go ahead and just money line it for
Who
them
hosts the
to
World
win the
Cup?
championship. I watched highlights of their team. And
Brazil.
they're winning games in the U20 and U17. Like they're putting it on teams.
All right. We'll have to keep an
So-
eye.
Yeah, everyone keep an eye on North Korea. That's my sleeper pick. North Korea women's soccer. It's my sleeper pick for 2027.
I like
Write
it.
it down right
Great
now.
research.
You heard it here first. That was fun. I would love to go back and count up how many countries you guys named off.
That was a nice little geography quiz to see if I could remember any
It was.
Asian countries.
That's right. Pull up GeoGuessr. You'll be good at it.
High school me would be proud. I took world geography.
Yeah. Wait, would it be proud? Oh, you didn't get it. So would high school? I guess you did say it.
He was
eventually,
happy
right?
he
North
named a
Korea.
lot of countries.
I
think.
got it on my 20 billionth guess, but I got it.
You did 20 billionth guess. That was fun. That was a good exercise. So looking ahead to the women's tournament, let's get excited. USA
excited.
North Korea is going to be a movie
In Brazil.
It's gonna
the
be a
interview.
movie.
in Brazil. In Brazil, this is Brazil. Fast Five. Do we have any other soccer things to talk about?
That's it.
We're soccer
That's
out.
it. We're soccered out. We're soccered out. Anybody but England. That's what I'll leave you guys with.
Fair.
All right. See you guys. Everyone come talk to Jack and Andy while we are taking pictures of the softball and baseball games.
If you're making the trip to Davis County, I'll come say hello.
Davis County, land of the Mustangs. See you next week, friends.